few moments, we should be off. And off we are. Starting off with Skyland today, with Chain Chomp Alley, aka 2-5, being the first level. Ooh, and the Chain Chomp getting a bite out of Alan immediately. SDiezal, meanwhile, able to keep a little bit better footing. Just has to watch out for the ending enemy. Okay, Chain Chomp plays nice. Alright, the next level on our list today is... Ew, there's another level no one wants to see, 8-1. I'm going to amend that statement right now. The only reason I would want to see 8-1 is if I had a P-Wing. Because up on this pipe in the ceiling right here that Diesel's going under, you have a shortcut to near the end of the level, and you can pick up potentially a power-up or some extra lives. But instead, SDiezal is just going to... Oh! Good idea. Take advantage of the bullet bills in case of sprite overloads, and gets to the end cleanly. Alan's struggling a little with the Venus flytraps, but gets through. Now just has the rest of this level to deal with. Diesel's deciding to bypass the fortress, thinking that the shortcut won't be needed. Oh no! Alan dies to what I suspect was a crazy foot, and has to go back through 8-1 once again. So for those that have tuned in at just the start of this race, you may recall that this level that SDiezal's going through was an auto-scroller. All the auto-scrollers are gone, with the exception of 2 of them, and hopefully we will not encounter them. Of course, knowing our luck, our runners are going to encounter both, but we will find out once we get there. Meantime, Fire Bros are guarding an item for SDiezal, and that treasure? Starman. Now, the level that SDiezal's going through right now is... Oh! Bullet bill in the face for Alan! Ouch! Again, 8-1 is not a kind level, especially at the start, which means we're back in a potential game over situation. And this time, there are no places to get power-ups along the way. And if you do take a game over, your score resets to 0, so you can't get end card items that way either. Alan has to play this carefully. The tower level that SDiezal's going through, it's always required in Tournament Flags 1, but not always in 2. In this case, we're showing it off now. And starting off, a sky level with the grass. Unfortunately, I had missed it, but it looks like Alan did get a game over and has to start again. Not much that can be done here, folks. Meantime, we just have to press on to the hidden oasis of 2-4. We're not actually going to see the hidden oasis today. Ground path will do just fine, especially since we got a fire flower out of the deal. Alan really wants that mushroom. Has to be careful of the crazy foot again, though. Meantime, SDiezal, power-up time. Maybe. Maybe not. Joys of the end card game. Oh no, 7-5! No boss bass though, but starting with 2 fire snakes. That's not kind at all. And then 2 fire chomps and another fire snake. This is that's the corridor of death almost. Alright, Alan did get through 8-1 and is stopping at the Toad House for a power-up. We may not get to see what it is. Oh, there it is! Tanuki suit. That will certainly help. And Alan is deciding to take the other way through Desert Fort. This is not a bad play at all. Beating this fortress will build a bridge to skip needing to deal with 2-5 and 8-1 from, So, there is one disadvantage, though. By taking this path on future, post-game over attempts, the Toad House will not be accessible at... Okay, what was that Fire Chomp doing? Trying to sneak through? Oh no, SDiezal's in trouble. SDiezal's in trouble, he's caught! And burned. Now, fortunately, we do have access to other level paths, and in this case, SDiezal is taking the other one to a beta level. I want to say this is 7-3 beta. Potentially 3-4 beta, but either way, it's Lakitu Chaos. Okay, Starman there, yeah, probably 7-3 beta. So what are beta levels? Well, they are effectively levels that were initially planned to be in the game, but were... Well, basically, they had their level pointers disabled. We can still access them, though, because, well... F. Coughlin's a genius when it comes to this sort of stuff. And I just realized, Alan had entered... Oh, right, that's still the tower. Never mind. I was mixing up my levels here for a second. SDiezal now in one fort. Or, first fort, aka the Warp Fort. But we are not going to where that Warp Whistle is today. We need the leaf to do that. And even if we did get up there, it wouldn't be a Warp Whistle. All of our randomizer tournaments use warpless flags, so there will be no warp whistles at all. Instead, it's a random item. So, should we encounter 1-3, the background Toad House will have something else. Well, this isn't 1-3, but we'll take 2-3. Plenty of chances to get power-ups if we need it. Nipper plants are playing fair. Ah, and we have a Patooey sticking around. And a Buster Beetle, that's rare. Okay, I was getting a little worried about that final Nipper plant. If that one actually spat fireballs, that would have been a very dangerous way to end this level. Oh no, SDiezal fell into the pyramid cropping just a little soon. Has to go through again. And in the meantime, Alan is trying to catch up now in 3-4. Alright, Alan with the extra lives. With the way these seeds have been, yeah, we're gonna need them. And SDiezal is through that makeshift pyramid. One more level and one more hammer, bro. At 8-2, the Sands of Shame. But we are not taking those Sands of Shame today. Instead, we are going to go across the note block bridge. Well, for some definition of bridge. And we just have one more big gap to get through. Baby Bass trying to interfere, but no more. Oh, that is definitely an evil position for that. Fire Bros not causing a problem for SDiezal gets a Lakitu cloud out of it too. That'll certainly help for later worlds. And of course, if we're gonna talk a bunch of, crazy level ordering, why not start with the World 7 airship? Alan now in 7-5. If he ends up taking a death, will he go into the other path, or will he stick with this one? In the meantime, Roy Koopa is guarding the airship right now. No earthquaking powers, so that won't be a problem. And it looks like 3-hitter quitter, the standard of Koopa Kid behavior. Each Koopa Kid can have between 1 and 5 hit points. 3 is the vanilla amount. Alright, Alan is almost through the beta level. Just has to watch out for Lakitu one more time, not a problem. Next world on the agenda. World 6. Can we potentially skip a first bit of the world? We can. And SDiezal is skipping it on the end card game as well. Just going to plow straight on through 5-8. So, just so it's clear, the fortresses will only break the locks or build the bridges at their initial vanilla locations in this flag set, so it is perfectly reasonable to just skip over those first few stages. As we are now in 7-3, the actual one on SDiezal's side. That was a bit of a long jump, and unfortunately went a little too long. Will we see a stage switch? No. SDiezal's going to commit. Alright, that time SDiezal brushes up against the question block, so there should be no problems this time. Oh, the Spiny was in the way, had to readjust, and that allowed Lakitu to get a pot shot off. So instead, we're going to actually see what's in the coin chip. Oh, good thing we did. That is a hammer. Hammers can still break the rocks as in the vanilla game, but they also allow you to break the locks in this flag set. And SDiezal missed out on the star run, and so has to go through the rest of this level without the protection. And without the mushroom. The only thing that P-Switch will do for us is get us a few extra coins. We care more about getting beyond there. Question from chat. When it comes to Koopa Kids, does the number of stomps affect the number of fireballs? No. Fireballs right now is always 10 fireballs to the face. Remember that fireball health is separate from stomp health. Also, SDiezal has found 7-1, but entered it small, so going through the normal way. Also, whatever that creature was, okay, giant enemies are inbound. That may explain it. Joys of spreading him. Oh, no, Alan fell for the baby bass trick! And has to go through the sands of shame again. Right now, SDiezal just waiting, making sure no problems with that top enemy, and none this time. Not every day we see a 7-1 normal clear, but in this case, we were given a treat today. Next fortress, ugh. The World 8 Fortress. Some call it the Dark Door Maze, some call it a garbage fort that should not exist. Some call it, why is there a bottomless pit in this fortress? Speaking of bottomless pits, Alan fell for another one. Alright, SDiezal able to use small strats to power himself up all the way to Fire Mario, so that will certainly help. But it looks like SDiezal... Okay, SDiezal's taking the lower path through to the end. Lower, more cautious path. Nothing wrong with that. Gets bopped by a Rotodisc, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Oh, going for the clip! Not every day I see that clip, but it certainly comes in handy. And, oh, right, thank you, chat, I forgot about that. Should that joke come up again, I'll try to remember it. Alright, Alan trying to be very careful with the World 7 airship. In the meantime, uh-oh, Blue Pipe Special has a boss bass. As per usual, Boss Bass takes roughly 4 to 5 seconds in order for him to spawn back in. So, better get him in that correct position. Because right now, he's flying. Do not ask how Boss Bass can fly. Whoa! Almost caused problems there for SDiezal, but fortunately, fireballs work out. And here's the rare 2-up fireworks. And a question from chat. Difference between Boss Bass and Big Bertha? Big Bertha is the one that swims in the water and releases kids. Boss Bass is the hungry one that wants to eat you whole. Fortunately, no Boss Bass sighting in 5-1, so SDiezal is able to get through this one with relatively few problems. Alright, Alan has also discovered the shortcut pipe, whereas SDiezal has to go through another fortress, and it is the first one of World 7, aka Fort Knox. And in this case, we have to go for the hidden treasure of the Tanuki suit if we want to beat this stage. Well, either that or use a P-Wing. But who wants to use a P-Wing at this point? Alan going for the star run while SDiezal is going for the flight. Beautiful positioning there. And Boom Boom doesn't get a chance to fly either. Oh! Nice throw by Lucky 2. TheAlanHeffley is booped out of there. And in World 6, well, World 6 Airship, we have a little bit of spicy vanilla today, folks. And SDiezal deciding to keep the Tanuki suit. Tail whips do nothing against the Koopa kids, but perhaps SDiezal wants to keep the suit. Never mind, that did not happen. Oh! Down he goes. In the meantime, Alan took the other way, and it is 4-3. And with that Starman able to make some good progress, but just has to be careful with the ending jumps. There are bumper blocks that can push you off if you're not careful. Here are those bumper blocks. And no problem whatsoever. And ew, Lemmy, 5 hits. But fortunately, the way the stage is laid out, it is possible to get Lemmy trapped before he moves over, so kudos to Diesel for getting that pattern. Alan deciding to use the hammer there. I question that call. We only skipped one stage and one hammer bro, and if we take a death, the hammer bro may be in the way anyway. But we haven't encountered the desert world yet, or World 1, where this would have been an optimal time to use a hammer, and SDiezal decides to do just that. And so we enter 6-3. Yeah, in general, our runners are not going to care too much about the multi-coin blocks. If we ever want to see the White Mushroom House, maybe, but it's extremely rare to ever see a runner go for that. Ooh, suddenly 6-10 here. And that Karibo shoe would have been a trap. Once you get in the Karibo shoe, you cannot get out until you either beat the stage, or take a death, or take a hit from an enemy. But because the Goomba shoe can stomp on enemies, well, that would have been an almost auto death there. Oh no, Alan knows the trouble he's in right now. Alright, Diesel decides now's a good time to go for the end card game. Unfortunately, misremembered where some of the cards were. And now he's... well, at least he gets a second chance. And yeah, Stewie, this one is not very kind so far. Honestly, neither seed, the one that was just ran and this current one, I would say are nice. Well, at least the Hammer Bros, or Fire Bros in this case, give another hammer, so that'll be useful for later worlds, but in the meantime, Diesel decides, let's just get out of here. World 2 Airship. And immediate P-Speed plus Sudden Leaf means we get to fly it over it all. Alan is done with the Blue Pipe Special. And, ooh, Larry is one of our 2 Quake and Koopa kids. And And it's a 5-hitter. However, no problems caused this time. Alan is now through 5-1. We don't have to worry about that one anymore. Whoo, and gets the swag stomp before turning it into a star, too. Or coin, excuse me. But right now, Diesel has effectively a one-world lead as we enter the pipe maze. Will this be a quick one? We just need one pipe to the far island, not quite yet. Instead, we start with 4-1 on the 7-2 tile. Ooh, scaring me a little, even with that leaf there, Diesel. If you mess up a hover, well, the only place you're going is down in that pit. Alright, will this pipe work? Nope! Back to the same island, we have to go through the 7-1 tile. But our runners get a little break. It is 1-2. Not much to write home about for this one, so let's shift over to Alan's side for a second. Currently going through the World 6 airship, taking his time. And going to try to keep the Tanuki suit. Can't blame him. Oh, required big island for SDiezal, and oh no, required 7-8 Piranha Alley. Oh my gosh, we encountered this level on both seeds today for our runners. And Boss Bass has made a surprise appearance. But SDiezal doesn't care, not even going into the bonus pipe to despawn him. This can potentially cause a problem for the final section of enemies, never mind, just Koopas. Alright, Diesel gets through one of the worst levels of the game. But we're not done yet, folks. 6-6. Oh my gosh, what is it with these horrible levels? Okay, chat, honest question. Who likes playing through 6-6 in the original game? I mean, who seriously likes swimming through an icicle cavern? SDiezal certainly doesn't. And, oh, that's a potential gamble there. That may not be the right pipe, and it's not! So the question is, what was that cloud traded in for? A fire flower. Ooh, I don't think that's what Diesel necessarily wanted. So right now, Diesel is caught on this other side, either has to spend the cloud, which he does, or play through it. Required path in this case is the army stage. And no, I'm not going to attempt to sing this one. And without that cloud, SDiezal, you have to go through 6-6. That's the danger of the Lakitu clouds. If you use it to skip a level, but you fail to either beat the next level or at least cause a map transition, then you are sent back to where you caused a map transition. And chat is agreeing. Maybe SDiezal didn't want to deal with the end card, but in that case, if he did, he would have saved the position. And I just realized Alan went through a completely different level that I had missed because of the lack of hammer. And now Alan is in the hand stages, Peekaboo Place. All the hand stages will give the same item, and in this case, the Tanuki suit. And we're also going to see what fortress was skipped on SDiezal's side. Ah, Water Fort. Well, Water Door Fort, specifically. AKA Door 6, so not a big deal. This is a relatively quick fortress. And the army stage ending with a frog suit for some reason. Can't say I understand, but fair enough. Oh. That explains it. The game was telling you to use the frog suit because you had to deal with 7-4. I mean, I've heard of, following the breadcrumbs for randomizers, but I don't think that works in a platformer like this. Ooh, Fire Chomp manages to get Alan with the projectile, while SDiezal manages to swim through Electro Junction. And come on, game. Haven't our runners suffered enough? You have them take the long way through World 7, and now you are giving them Piranha Fort? Have you no shame? There is only so much I can rant about this level. I mean, admittedly, it is constructed well and with a theme. It's just in the randomizer, it is very difficult, especially if all the piranha plants get randomized to the Venus fire traps. Fortunately, SDiezal is done with that level and never has to think about it again, at least until the next round he has to play in. And SDiezal is deciding, probably should fill up on the end card game. Or, nope, maybe was just mixing up the pipes. And, oh, forced piranha infestation as well! Or not. SDiezal was able to get the one-frame trick to bypass it on screen transition, but he has to wait for the star power to run out! Alright, we are good now. Welcome to 7-2, everyone. This time, without a boss pass. Seven 2's big feature is that note bridge that you saw Diesel form at the end. Unless you have P-Speed or a tail, you can't make it in one go. You have to build part of the bridge. In the meantime, Alan just picked up a hammer and is trying to get through Morton's airship without a problem, though of course it's going to be Earthquake and Larry here instead. And the next level for SDiezal, another hand level. Cheap Chase this time. We already saw the first hand level give a Tanuki suit. This one will also give a Tanuki suit. But Alan is going to have to take a long path as well. Oh, SDiezal, unfortunately. Oh, World 6 Fortress number 3, the Carpet Fort. Yeah, that's never a good one, especially if you have crazy feet on conveyor belts. Alright, TheAlanHeffley following in SDiezal's footsteps, in this case a little too literally. 4-1 is not going to lead anywhere. Alright, Carpet Fort defeated. That pipe is only going to go to the dead end one. We don't care. So, Piranha Infestation number 2? Not a problem. Power up today, Starman. And the airship to end with. World 1's airship, which is probably a minor sigh of relief for our runners right now. Ooh, Ludwig jumped a little high there. Is he our high jumping Koopa Kid? Oh, I think so, especially if that hitbox reacted the way I think it did. And SDiezal is deciding, I don't care, I'm equipping that Tanuki tail, and I want to stomp on Ludwig von Koopa. TheAlanHeffley now in Piranha Alley. Not going to be happy to have to get through this one. And okay, Ludwig only takes 2 hits. But that initial hitbox was not friendly. And uh-oh, Alan sees Boss Bass. Oh, and gets caught not by Boss Bass, but by the fireball from the Venus Flytrap. In the meantime, World 3 is our next one. And it's a free 3. We just have to get through the World 4 airship, so apparently this seed does have a form of mercy. Oh, Alan slipped off the pipe. And SDiezal with an unintentional swag kill on Wendy-O Koopa. Alright. This initial part of 7-8 right here is one of the main reasons why runners hate this level. Alright, World 2 is our next map. That means the Giant Land is going to be the world's 7th map, starting with 3-3. No Boss Bass in sight, so easy pickings. Alright, Alan having to be careful. Okay, gets through the... Oh, runs into another fireball again. And in the meantime, Diesel's world lead is building. Effectively a 2-world gap right now, though admittedly, Waterworld is free this time, but still. And what do you know, the final hand stage is on the way. Not every day we see all 3 hand stages. However, this does potentially cause a problem. If we need items in World 8, we don't have a source for them anymore. Speaking of source, we need a source of power-ups, and this underground portion of Fortress 4-1, well, in this case it's just a Starman, but we will take it. Speaking of taking it, Alan is choosing to equip the hammer suit immediately. Loses it when the star power ran out, and now has to deal with Boss Bass, no way to defeat it easily. And Alan just tried to make a run for it. And Alan is safe for the moment. But K2 Cloud is the reward, and SDiezal is cashing in on one of them right now, entering the World 3 airship, skipping the pyramid. And Alan did get through 7-8, but now trying to... oh boy, 6-6. If he gets through, he will at least have access to 2 mushroom houses. However, that will not be the way to go. And Alan is deciding to just take the other path. This is the correct way. You have to go through the army this time. In the meantime, SDiezal gets to relax just a little bit. Folks, use this time to please follow our runners, as they are certainly giving it their all here. This has not been a friendly seed at all. Now, my question to SDiezal, does he still have a spare hammer if this ends up... well, nope, he's not even going to care. As we suddenly enter another beta level. In this case, I want to say this is 3-9 beta. Because we have multiple pipes that allow us to go down, and we have to get to the bottom right. Surprisingly, no water. And the angry sun just wanted to say hello, but not gonna happen. SDiezal also starting to run low on inventory. Uh-oh, 6-5 sighting. No boss bass, though. In the meantime, Alan temporarily contemplating, do I really have to do this level? Unfortunately, Alan, yes you do. SDiezal taking the one required path, gets rid of the Karibo shoe, and builds the path across. Or technically breaks it, but it works. And question from chat, did Alan have a Lakitu Cloud? Unfortunately, I had missed the last inventory check on his side. And suddenly, another beta level, 5-4 beta. All it is, it's just a run from one end to the other, and then into the half-repaired pipe. And Alan has learned of the bad news. No skipping this one. While SDiezal is going through Donut Fort and unfortunately fell into the lava instead. Has to go again. Ooh, that last jump on the donut block's not easy. Alan using the hammer suit immediately. I mean, I can't blame Alan at all. Hammer suit is a safe way to take out the piranha plants here. But one false step and all this effort will be wasted. And unfortunately, Roto Discs cannot be defeated by the hammer suit. The only things that can defeat the Roto Discs are either Tanuki Stomps, maybe the Invincibility Star, but definitely the Tanuki Stomps. Four tile has 4-5 instead, the Homing Bill Highway. This is the one stage where they are encountered, so enjoy them while they last. Alright, Alan is almost through. Trying to bait that Thwomp gets it. And for the record, chat, the enemies that you call Disco Waffles, they are officially known as Roto Discs. Yes, I remember the manual. Yes, I am either a geek or a nerd, depending on which one is better. And for those wondering where the Lakitu clouds are, there you go, the coin ship has it for World 4. And SDiezal is deciding, oh, we're not even going to deal with the 4-5 tile, let's just take out the Hammer Bro and have immediate access to the fortress. That P-Wing is certainly welcome. Uh-oh, forced encounter! So, if a Hammer Bro enters your tile, especially after you've just dealt with one, you basically are locked in combat until either all your lives are gone or the Hammer Bros are defeated. And you don't get a chance to access your inventory either. And fun fact, if you end up being caught while on an actual stage tile, which is very rare but can happen, either that or my old NES cart was defective back in the day, then you're gonna have to basically replay the same stage multiple times until all Hammer Bros are gone. Alan playing very cautiously, not wanting to lose that hammer suit. Again, I don't blame him. Hammers are powerful. But right now, this cautious play is allowing SDiezal to build up more of a lead. He's already on the final airship. This time, it's the World 5 airship to close things off. And SDiezal retreating a little bit. Oh, I see. Trying to build up enough speed to... well, it's not exactly P-speed, but it certainly avoids the trenches, so can't blame him for that. And Iggy Koopa is our second Quakin' Koopa. Already requiring more hits. 4 hits specifically. So both of our Quaking Koopas had managed to, I guess eat their Wheaties or something. So we are now in World 8 at close to the 50-minute mark. World 7 alone caused a lot of problems. And, well, the king said it best. If you are enjoying the action that's here, or the other speed gaming families, please, subscribe, I guess. Alright, the original army stage in this case is the freebie beta stage 7.1 beta. And sorry, Alan, pausing is not going to save you there. Alright, how will the pipes play in Dark Maze today? Is SDiezal gonna go through Handbridge? Probably not. Not yet, anyway. The issue with Handbridge is every time you go across the tile, it's a 50-50 shot. And, trust me when I say no one wants to go through it. Especially since, you know, it's not every day we can get 0 hands. Question from chat, why is it hard to see the water? I'm not sure what water you are referring to. I'm seeing a bunch of lava on both screens, well I was until we got into the final rooms, but... Alright, SDiezal now taking the required, well, maybe not so much required path, but... Oh! Oh! Hand bridge required with inverted pipes! Ouch! And the hands have come out. Here we are in 5-2. We have 2 paths available in this stage. One above, one below. We want to stay above. It's much faster. Oh, Alan's struggling in the piranha infestation. And he used a cloud to skip the fortress, but no more clouds. Has to go through the carpet fort, and this is not a friendly fortress to go through either. Alright, one hand down, second hand skipped, third hand 1-5. I suspect that second hand is going to remain a mystery to us all. Alan now in the elevator section. Crazy feet not causing a problem this time, at least. And SDiezal has encountered, once again, in the Navy, where we can rando all the time. In the Navy, where getting PBs are sublime. In the Navy, where stopping boss bass ain't a crime. In the Navy, in the Navy. And oh, okay, you were talking about the dark water in a 7.1 beta. I don't know, I guess there's a reason why water typically wasn't used in darker palettes. Anyway, SDiezal is going beyond the Navy and into the dark portion. And oh, Alan gets a game over! I had missed his life count! And oh, we have to progress somewhere in the dark portion in order to find our final pipe. World 8 is nearly vanilla right here. And now, SDiezal, up we go into the wild black yonder, flying high with the Koopa crew. It's time to go, Bash Mario! Nothing will stop the Koopa Air Force! except of course for the mangy plumber, but what can you do? And, folks, unfortunately, TheAlanHeffley has decided to forfeit. So it looks like, the Air Force's troops managed to get Alan here, as that was a pure vanilla pipe to take us to the end. Penultimate level, Lava Fort. And SDiezal, no problems whatsoever. And yeah, these seeds were not friendly at all to our runners today. Though, I will admit, I may have had a small hand in that. I was the seed roller for both of their matches, and I think Alan is going to try to ban me from rolling seeds in the future. Can't say I would blame him for that. Meantime, SDiezal, with Fire Flower in hand, wants to take out Bowser Koopa. Whoa, that was a close dodge. Alright, I want to say it's 30 fireballs necessary in order to take Bowser Koopa out. And in case there's a problem with that, well, SDiezal's not well aligned. In case he takes damage, he'd have to go through at least another cycle. But at this point, it doesn't matter. Bowser Koopa has gone down, and SDiezal can breathe a sigh of relief. Both of the Nightmare Seeds are over. And thus, SDiezal finishes in first place with an official SRL time of 57 minutes, 33 seconds. Get your GGs out in chat, folks. At this point, let's see if SDiezal wishes to come in for an interview. Alright, I do have confirmation. SDiezal will join me for an interview. And for those wondering about where to try out the randomizer, all you have to do is go to the website listed on there for those that are unable to read chat. Hope SG doesn't mind me saying this. To try out the randomizer, sites.google.com/site/SMB3 randomizer. And you too can give the randomizer a shot. And it looks like, oh, SDiezal, I'm guessing you will be joining us instead in Twitch chat.
I'm here.
So, oh, there you are. Sorry, I just saw you enter Twitch chat first, and I was a little confused. GG.
GG.
I apologize to both you and Alan for rolling those atrocious seeds.
Whew. Yeah, this one was pretty long. Even for these flags, this was a long one.
Yeah, you had to take the longest paths possible for both World 7 and 8.
Yes. Yeah, and I think that's what kind of did it. Like I knew once we got 6 and 7 right off the start, and then they were both like super duper long. I was like, well, we're gonna be in for a long seed. So.
Yeah, I mean, if World 3 was not World Free, this would have been minimal an hour, I think even for the best of runners.
Yeah, this was if World 3 we didn't get the Fast 3, then this would have been like an easy hour-long seed. So, yeah, this one was pretty rough. And unfortunately, I didn't really have a lot of hammers to work with. I had one hammer to use in World 2, and if I had one more for the world after, then I could have even had a little bit of more of a shortcut, but I guess I'll take the one hammer and go with it.
Yeah, it's just not much you can do about situations like this here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, with these flags, you pretty much have to hope for... Not only do you have to hope for a little bit of a shortcut when it comes to, like, 6 and 7, and we did get the shortcut in 3. You also have to hope for at least 2 to 3 hammers in your inventory, so you can make World 2 a little bit faster, World 1 a little bit faster, etc. So we just didn't have that luck on our side, unfortunately.
Such is the nature of the randomizer.
Yeah, exactly. But I was sad to see he had a forfeit out of this one. But I don't blame him either. I mean, if you're distracted and you have a long seat on your hands, I don't blame you for having to kind of dip out of this one. So.
Yeah, I mean, the first 4 worlds were an unexpected gauntlet, and we didn't even have to deal with 5, 9, or the scrolling beta level that many call Atlantis.
Yeah, yeah, I was fortunate for that one. I think like the worst stage we had to deal with early was, I think we had 7F2 in there somewhere. I can't remember if it was early or late, but it was in a really bad spot. And
so, some of the notable levels that I had seen. You had to deal with 8-1 as the second level in the game.
Yes.
You had to deal with 7-5 in the sky, where, while it wasn't a boss bass, there were a lot of fire snakes and fire chomps.
Yeah, that was the other one. Yeah, okay.
7-9 is always a little scary at the beginning with boss bass in the blue pipe special.
Yep, very true.
And it was the pipe maze where you had to deal with 7-8 with boss bass.
Yep.
And then you ended up making the wrong turn into 6-6 and then accidentally wasting clouds.
Yeah, oh man, I wanted to skip, so I died in that level and I wanted to skip it. And I knew that if I gambled on that pipe and it wasn't the right one, that I was going to have to use my second cloud on it. So that's what I did. And then I ended up dying on, it was like, I think it was Navy or Tanks, or one of the two. And I ended up having to, it was Tanks, and I had to go back and doing it anyways. So I was like, well, this is great. I guess I should have seen this coming, but...
and then you were given a frog suit, which I think the game expected you to use immediately for 7-4. And then Piranha Fort followed immediately after that.
Immediately after that, yeah. So I knew like if I gambled that pipe and it wasn't it, I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to use the second one anyway. So I kind of went in with that mindset going forward. So oh well.
Yep. And the other level, and this was where Alan ended up stopping, was a 6F3, which was at the end of World 7 today.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that was a tough one. Yeah. Yeah, I don't blame him on that one either.
Yeah.
7 was just long, and then right near the end, you have to go through that one. So it's like, if you're getting defeated at that point, I don't blame him at all for, you know, calling it quits there.
Yeah, and especially since, unlike the vanilla game, you were being railroaded through the stages. You couldn't use the pipe, you know, the pipe locked pipes, or
Yeah.
fortress locked pipes, excuse me, just to warp over there. You had to go through all those stages again.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the other thing too there. So, I mean, there was enough that the seed threw at us, but that alone was pretty rough.
I am going to ask, once this broadcast ends, I want this seed to be shared in like a Hall of Shame or something like that within the tournament Discord. I want people to have to go through this one and see how much they suffer.
It's funny because my first tournament seed was kind of similar to like this. It was these exact flags, and it was equally as long. Like, I don't know what the deal is with these flags, but man, they have been really long lately. So what I like to do is set these seeds on a USB drive, and then you can actually set it on fire. So there you go. You set the seed on fire, and you're good to go.
Well, at the very least, you can relax a little bit. Thanks to your 2 wins tonight, you are now 4-0 in your group, tied with Zodiac Dread.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to our match with Zodiac, because me and him are pretty equal in skill level when it comes to Mario 3 Rando. So I'm really looking forward to my matches with him. Those should be really good.
And then you will eventually have to face off against Retro Reviver as well, if I've counted correctly.
Yeah, and he's my other opponent to schedule my match with, which I'm not sure when, but yeah, I got him and then Zodiac, and then that'll be my group, and we'll be ready to go.
Alright, do you have any other thoughts regards to this seed, or do you already just want to burn it in a fire?
I wanna remove it from my memory, but it was a good learning experience, so it's all good.
Alright, with that in mind, shoutouts to SDiezal and TheAlanHeffley. Please give them both a follow if you haven't already.
Yeah, GG to Alan. Good on you for trying to stick this one through, but yeah, it was a rough one.
Such is the nature of the rando at times.
Absolutely. Alright, yeah, thanks for the commentary. I appreciate it, and thank you for Speed Gaming for the restream. Appreciate it.
Alright, folks, that will cover most of the Mario Bros. 3 randomizer action tonight. But I'm sure you want to know what's happening on the rest of the Speed Gaming family, so I will deliver that news for you. 9:30 p.m. Head to the primary Speed Gaming channel. The creator of this randomizer, F. Coughlin, is going up against JustinMan114. And then following that match at 11 p.m. on the same channel is the Zelda 1 randomizer tournament. All boards, no swords, Zelda 1 randomizer. Dark Falls versus Digshake. Currently on Speed Gaming 2, we have the Final Fantasy Randomizer one-day tournament finals going on. So, head over there to catch the action before it literally, goes away in a time loop. Spoilers for a near 20 to 30-year-old game. On Speed Gaming 4, we are currently going through the Messenger 8-Bit No Out of Bounds 2019 tournament. trying to settle placements for said tournament. And then following that, at 10 o'clock, is another all boards, no swords Zelda 1 rando match. Wait, I just realized something. How is Dark Falls in both of these matches?
Yeah, how does that work out?
Dark Falls versus Chestrick, and at the same time, Dark Falls is going up against Digshake? I just call it like I see it, folks.
Oh, man.
Needless to say, one of those two matches is probably going to need an update on the calendar. If you wish to head over to Speed Gaming 5, the Zelda 1, Metroid 1 Combo Randomizer Community Race has just started. Please make sure to follow twitch.tv/speedgaming, along with Speed Gaming 2 through 6 to catch all of the different Speed Gaming events. But for now, I don't know which one I'm going to watch. Do I watch Dark Falls or do I watch Dark Falls? We'll figure it out. For now, and for everyone here, this is Wolfman2000 saying, until next time, watch out for Boss Bass. Have a good night.
Bye, good night.